excited to be asked to come and present today. MRI has been in business 30 years. I've been involved with the company for 10 years, and Bob about 12, and Alan's been president for about 15 years or so. And although the address is New Hampshire, we are Massachusetts based. Bob and I both live in the Merrimack Valley, and we handle all the searches in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Currently, we're finishing up, as I said, Dalton, Massachusetts, and 2 or 3 weeks ago, we finished up Billerica up in the Merrimack Valley, and we're right in the middle of Norfolk, Mass. So I'm letting you know that information so that you understand we have the bandwidth to take on a project of this nature. You have our proposal, and I can walk through it quickly, but the basis of what we do is to work our best to find you folks an array of candidates who we think would fit in this community. And we do that by meeting with the 3 of you, actually with Dennis, the 4 of you folks, and other department heads or division heads that you think we should be speaking with, perhaps people on the finance committee or the town moderator, perhaps there's an emeritus person in town we should be speaking with. We put together a profile of what the community is telling us you are looking for. And it's like putting together a mosaic. We'll get bits and pieces of wisdom from you folks, and it'll paint a picture of the characteristics, the traits, that sort of thing that you're looking for in your next town manager. And we use that for not only the putting together the job ad, but also for the community profile. You know, in the old days, it'd be a brochure that you'd send out. Now, of course, everything is online. But it's a 5, 6, 7, 8 page document. There was one attached with the pictures of the town, of the community, sort of your iconic images. And we will have not only the job ad and the profile of the ideal candidate, but we'll also talk about the opportunities and the challenges that are here in town. And just looking at your website, the former select boards, the former managers have done a marvelous job at a AA plus community with good reserves and just healthy revenues. Very good free cash on an annual basis from what I noted. So you're in good stead. And we work with town manager charters, town administrator as well, but you have a strong town manager charter, which I think also presents the community very well to the folks who are looking for their next, career opportunity. So we present we put the community profile together, and we'll work with whoever is designated. Sometimes it's somebody from the select board. Oftentimes communities say, no, we're going to let you work that through the town manager screening committee or town manager search committee, and we'll work with them to make sure that the profile correctly reflects the community. And there's an advertising period, and then we'll work with them for the interviews. We'll work with them to see if they want. We normally do essays of the top tier candidates. Some communities like the idea of essays, others don't. Others say no. In place of an essay, have them give us a writing sample, either a letter perhaps that they've written for their annual report, or the budget up, and the opening pages of their budget document, or some sort of persuasive document that they've written to the select board or finance committee or whatever, stating their case and building justification for something. So we work with them on exactly how they want the prospective candidates to be presented to them, and we will do some very basic background information on them, and then we'll work with the screening committee to they'll interview the folks in person. unless people are out of state and can't travel, but we've had good luck with very local candidates, so we haven't had too many of these semifinalist interviews, by Zoom, prefer in person, and we'll work with them and come up with, they'll interview the candidates, and we'll come up with a group that you folks will interview. They'll recommend, we prefer in no particular order. In other words, what we tell the screening committees is come up with a list of candidates that you think will work and do the job, that fits the qualifications of the job ad and the community profile, that'll work in the community, that'll fit in the community. And then it's up to the select board, the three of you folks, to interview the person. You'll get all the background information, et cetera, and to decide who you think has the best characteristics, traits, personality, fit for Upton. So that's sort of a brief overview. Happy to answer any specific questions that you folks may have.
Maureen, do you have any?
How many towns have you worked? Towns or cities? Yeah. Over, right?
I tried to do a tally, in the last 10 years, 50 or 60. I mean, we do 5 or 6 a year. We're not, overwhelmed with projects, Bob and I, but between, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, I would say probably 50 or 60. I mean, this year alone, we've wrapped up when Dalton and Norfolk gets wrapped up, that'll be our 5 this year. But yeah, so
What's the field of candidates out there? I know things are tough.
yeah, that's a challenge. Today, that's a challenge. We, in the old days, so we did the search here. I should go back in my file. We did the search here when Derek was selected 10 years ago. I'm gonna go. I keep paper, so I'll go back and I'll look. We probably had 40 candidates. Let's say maybe 45 initially submit. Today, I would bet we'd probably get 25 or 30 candidates, and of those, 12 will be, acceptable. But once we do the checks, the phone discussions with them, review the resumes, essays, or writing samples, whatever it is, it may knock it down to 6 or 8. So the pool of candidates has shrunk. There is no question. But it's very competitive. At this very moment, I did a tally the other day, and you folks are not alone. Norfolk that we're working on, that's active at the moment. So is Marshfield, Rutland, Kingston, Harwich, a little distance away, and I know Mansfield has proposals out for search firms, and Winchester will have a job ad out shortly. So that's probably 8 communities right in eastern Massachusetts. Well, I mean, not counting the eastern side of the country, of the state. Kind of not counting Harwich. So it is competitive. There's no question. However, on the other hand, there are folks, men and women, looking to improve their careers. And as I said in the beginning, this community has a lot going for it. AAA, good reserves, solid charter. A community like this will sell itself, but it's our job, Bob and it's our job to reach out to folks that we know that are looking, and maybe some folks that aren't looking. Until you make cold calls, and talk to folks, you don't know who's out there, and or who may be looking from out of state for a variety of reasons. we, in Connecticut, in Manchester, Connecticut, a young man came from Wisconsin, and we asked, "What's your interest?" Well, I grew up in the Boston area, and I want to return to the Boston area, and well, the only thing available for him at that time was in Connecticut. So occasionally we get folks that have family roots here, or for a variety of reasons they're looking to resettle in New England. So we advertise in the International City Management Association newsletter that gets worldwide, as well as in the 6 New England states: the Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, of course, the MMA. And as you may know, anybody's looking for a job in Massachusetts is going to look at that state's municipal organization, whether it's a league or in our case it's a municipal association. They all have good websites with beaucoup job ads, everything from finance directors to planning directors to town managers, town administrators, whatever. So it gets a lot of this, as does MRI's website. We'll have folks that will be looking at us from time to time to see what's up with our searches.
Thank you. Questions?
No, that was my questions related to sort of what the current candidate pool is. I think you covered the process and organization and approach very well. Thank you.
I'd agree. That was going to be my question. Where do you pull from?
Pardon me?
That was going to be my question. Where do you pull from?
We'll pull from the greater Boston area, the metro area. Today, I'm glad you folks don't have a residency requirement. We're finishing up Dalton. They had a residency requirement in Dalton.
My sister-in-law lives in Dalton. I know where it is.
You know where it is?
Yes.
They make the currency for the
Yep.
world. Who would move to Dalton? Well, the former town manager there convinced the board to put a warrant article on town meeting to remove the residency requirement, and they did at the last annual town meeting. So now somebody can live in Pittsfield, or they can live in Williamstown or wherever and work there. So you don't have the residency requirement. Thank God. That'll make it a little easier. The challenge that professionals have, young professionals today, is 2 families work. The spouse, has a job. People are very reluctant to move. So it's basically it'll be the metropolitan area that we will draw from. And you never know. I mean, again, for the young man from Wisconsin, could be other folks that have their eye on a lovely community like Upton.
Any other questions or comments?
No.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. We appreciate your presentation and thank you very much for coming tonight.
My pleasure. As I said, we've got the bandwidth, and we would be happy to take on this engagement.
Great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, Buzz. Yeah, careful there.
Yeah, that's all right. Good luck with the search
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
and selecting a screening committee.
Yes. Thank you.
Very important job. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night. So next, do we have somebody from Community Paradigm?
He's not John.
Okay.
We told him to wait.
Oh, we did? Okay, thank you.
This is John.
Okay.
I know.
Hi, nice to meet you, John.
Outside, so. Nice to meet you.
Meet you, John. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Hey, John. Train goes out.
Mm. Thank you. If you'd like to present, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for having me here this evening. Community Paradigm, John Petrin. So I'm senior associate with the firm. We'll be using 4 people, involved in search. So myself, I'll be lead person, relative to this, and Bernie Lynch, the principal of our firm, will be doing the recruiting with me. And then we have two other people who are communications experts. We'll have Jen Lefferts, who will be working with us to create the profile, the background, and Sharon Flaherty, who does a lot of the interviewing with particularly references and puts together the information and the communications that goes out to recruit. So we feel a little bit unique in that way, in that we have a couple of recruiters, but we also have communications people who are trained. So I'll start with myself. I'm a retired town manager, retired in 2019. I grew up here in the area in Bellingham. My mother still lives in Blackstone, so I'm still in the area. I live in Bolton, I'm not too far up the road. And so from there, my brother graduated from Blackstone Valley here in town. So, still, quite here quite often in the area. So I retired in 2019 out of the town in Burlington, but I also worked in the town of Harvard for 13 years, smaller town, just like, Upton. So a lot of the same characteristics, relative to that. So I was there for 13 years. I also in the town of Ashland for 7 years prior to, and worked for the city of Marlborough as an assistant superintendent of schools for several years for them as well. Bernie is a retired city manager, town manager. He was in Chelmsford for 24 years and City of Lowell was the city manager there for 7 years. And then our two communications experts are they have backgrounds working as newspaper editors and reporters, as well as in the private sector doing communications. So they don't let me write. They do. We have experts actually, they're doing putting that together and getting it out. So we'll be working that way as a team. We've done many of the searches here in the state. We're Massachusetts centric. We don't work in other states in the area. We've done almost 60% of the searches here in Massachusetts. We've done many in this area. So Hopkinton was last year. I was the lead in Hopkinton when they did their search last year along the 495 belt. I just finished up in Lancaster a couple of months ago. We've done Lunenburg, Sutton, Bedford, Hopedale, Rutland, Carlisle, Boxborough, all within this in the last few years in this area. Bernie and I stay quite active, in the area. So even though I'm retired, both of us are instructor professors with Suffolk University. I'm actually the coordinator of the Massachusetts Municipal Association Suffolk program. We get 125 students every year between the management certificate and the finance seminar that we get to meet and find, and then they get to know us. And it's amazing how many of these students actually come through the program you're going to see. And when you get down to your candidates, how many actually have graduated from the Suffolk program, because there are many of them out there. There's over 600 graduates now just on the certificate side for management and leadership. So we stay involved with that. I've been the coordinator of that for 6 years now. So we get to see and talk to a lot of the people who want to advance their careers in this sector. So we work with them on a regular basis, so we stay active that way. The other thing is, I think we're the only firm who we have the emails of all the managers and assistant managers in the state. So when a position becomes open, we get it out. And what we say is, who do you know? And then we make the phone calls. We're active recruiters. There's a term out there, hunters, basically. We don't just put the ad, in the MMA. We actually make the phone calls. So we look at who is in the area, who we think, might have some eligibility, but more important is who knows who might be interested. And we make those phone calls. So we're active, when we're doing that. The other thing is we like to feel that, we're not directing you. We're providing guidance. Our role, you're going to have a process and it's unique in every community we go to. Our position is that we're going to work with you to help define that, define what you think is right. So we try to really come in and get an understanding of the community. We'll meet with each of you. We'll meet with each of, many of your department heads and talk to them. And things we look for is what are the characteristics you're seeking, in your next manager? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges? What are the problems? What are your goals, as members of the board, individually, as a board and as a town? We put all that together and we put that into the profile. So we try to identify that. And we work closely with the screening committee, all the way through the process and provide information on the candidates. It's our role to get an understanding of who's applying. There's always stories. I was in a business for 40 years. You can look me up in a paper and there'll be stories, positive and negative. Our role is to try to, discern as to whether there was, political issues or whether the person, has competence issues, going forward. We try to provide that information as we go forward with the discussions. So we consider ourselves an appointment, both for the town, but also for the candidates, because this is challenging. I've done it a couple times in my career, having to sit in front of a board, and interview for a job. People need to feel comfortable that it's the right position coming in because they're putting themselves on the line. I've done it a couple times where I'm a sitting manager someplace else. They're going in to do an interview. They need to know a comfort level for them to take on that challenge to put out there. We try to work with that. There's been several times, since I've been doing this where a candidate calls me, I think I'm going to withdraw. And my role is to, okay, let's dig into that a little bit. Why are you looking to do that? Let's just make sure it's the right decision. I'm not here to convince you to stay, but let's have the discussion through. That's what, a good recruiter can do, is make sure that conversation's going both ways. And so we get to know a lot of our people, who are candidates. We've had them maybe in other searches, or we've had them in classes, or we've worked with them. It's amazing how many, people who've been and are employed, going forward. And you get to meet so many people. Maureen and I have met a couple of times, over the years in rural. So you get to, understand and do that. So that's kind of what we try to do. We're here to work with you. We're not here to direct. We're here to guide, and provide information all the way through the process. There'll be certain things. I remember, Hopkinton, wanted to do something unique with interviewing the candidates. We worked with them on that. We didn't say no. We said, well, let's think it through. And here are some, some suggestions on how we can get that done. We work the board. If you're looking to have citizen involvement, we're very good at, putting out a survey, putting it together, put it on the website and get that information back and, we collate that. Put that together to see what's out there. So we have the opportunity to do this. And we've been, I think, fairly successful at doing it. As I said, we've done about 60% of the searches, in the last 6 years here in Massachusetts. So that's kind of, our outline. You've got our proposal. It's, it really gets into the details, of each of the steps. But again, I've been involved personally, 40 searches, over the last 5 years. Have worked with many communities and screening committees, and we've been pretty successful, at getting through the process, on that. So we look forward to, working with you if you chose us for this project. You've got some other good people. I just talking to Buzz, on the way out and on the way in. We're in a hallway. We've all known each other for a very long time, and so what you choose, we'll do a good job for you.
Okay, questions, comments?
Yeah, what's the sort of, I know you have the sort of rough timeline in here, but given sort of the time of year with the year end, do you think we're going to run into any issues there? Or what's your sort of experience with getting these roles filled?
The biggest issue is getting the meetings going with like the screening committee and with the boards, because you will hit some holiday seasons. If we can get it out early enough and, set those schedules and we get it on the table, we should be okay around that. But yes, we're going to have to work in those holidays. And, we just went through the July 4th Labor Day. I just finished up in Wakefield and had to work around that. We did it. you know, as long as people have the understanding. So the idea is to get the information on the table. You'll have your screening committee in place, and we'll try to project some projected timeframes to get it done.
Yeah, and then we talk a little bit more about sort of the relationship or the working relationship and activities between the search committee and the search firm.
Sure. So the our role is to recruit. The role of the screening committee is to, you know, review and to move forward finalists, you know, to the board. So we provide assistance all through that from suggested questions. You know, so I'll outline, you know, some suggestions, questions, some suggestions as to how you can go through the interviews, how interviews can take place, you know, what's reasonable. You know, you can get probably 4 interviews in one day. Trying to do 8 in one day, you know, creates, you know, you can get it done, but a lot of people don't have that bandwidth to, you know, to do it. So we can provide information as to how to get it done.
Yeah.
We handle the candidates and make sure, you know, the timeframes and the scheduling and work with the candidates. So what will happen is when we advertise, there'll be a date at which everything is submitted. We'll receive the packet of candidates, and then we get it to the screening committee, usually in 3 tiers, tier A, tier B, and tier C. Tier A, you know, have a lot of qualifications you're seeking. Tier B have some, and tier C maybe doesn't have enough experience to be considered in this, but it's up to the screening committee to do. We usually start with the tier C and say, is there anybody in this tier you wish to, you know, discuss? And sometimes to move forward, you know, for various reasons. But then we go through the tier A, tier B. So we'll work through each candidate in the other tiers, and we'll talk about those candidates and provide background. We would have done our research. We probably know them, you know, provide background, you know, on her or him as to, you know, the situation. And then we leave it up to the screening committee. We'll make suggestions on how they can get through it process. You know, sometimes you're down to, well, what should be our next step to, you know, to call out the list. We'll make suggestions. But we try to work through the committee. And the comfort level is going to be different depending who's on committee and committee itself. So we work through that, and then once we get that through that, I'm keeping informed the chair or whoever's been designated by the select board, and making sure that we're coordinating the next steps, talking about for you folks, how do you want to do your interview? You know, here are some suggested questions for your level of interview, so that it's not done last minute. You know, everything is done in a prepared mode, you know, all the way through. So it's pretty good coordination in that sense. And if there's, you know, some things that are being requested, like so we had that in Hopkinton. Yeah, okay, let's discuss it and let's talk about, you know, some options, you know, as to how to proceed.
Maureen, do you have questions?
No, he answered a lot.
I think so too.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming
Sure
today.
thing.
Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate the presentation.
Yeah, sure. So congratulations. I mean, good luck on your,
Thank you.
you know, couple of months. But, you know, good luck with your process. And again, if chosen, we, you know, look forward to working with you. If not, Upton's a great place, you know, so I'm sure you'll get qualified candidates, you know, to come out. So,
Okay, great. Thank you.
Right.
Comment.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. And next would be the Collins Center.
You ready for me?
Yes. No. Good. How are you?
Good. Your process.
Just tell us about yourself.
So I either
Speak first.
want to say I'm sorry or you're welcome for the most recent search I did in Bellingham. So I don't know whether it's a good thing, a bad thing, you know, so I'm concise. You have read all the materials. You have met my 2 fine colleagues who also do this work. Obviously, John and I are longtime friends, and who doesn't know about Stefanski? so, they're both fabulous people, and you will be well served by whomever. So it really is looking at the nuances of the proposals. Each of us has a different spin on things, but we primarily do the same thing. We work with whomever you want us to work with, to screen candidates. Our methods are the Collins Center. We're very proud to say we had 275 of the 351 municipalities that we have worked with. We have about 50 associates working across the Commonwealth. I have been with the center for 16 years. By the way, my name is Mary Icardi. For those who haven't seen it written down, I'm sorry. I've been with the center 16 years. I lead the HR practice. I have personally done about 110 recruitments over the 16 years. But it's the same process, and it's the same, once you hit 50, it's fine. 100 doesn't mean that, 100 over 16 years is the same as, half of that and half the time. It's still a volume. So that's something you're going to get an experienced person running your projects. My partner in crime in this particular search, if we were so fortunate to get it, would be Phil Lemnios, who is a recently retired Hull town manager, 35 years in the business. He was in Natick, he was in Attleboro before. So, the teams doing this work are well-experienced people. I have the benefit of having been an HR director this whole time. We don't hire our replacements. HR is a different technique, is a different task, So I have not been a chief executive of the municipality, but I've recruited in my lifetime and my years of experience in Watertown, Barnstable, Wellesley, hundreds and hundreds of people. So it's about how do you judge people? How do you know people? But it's not our job to judge people. It's our job to recruit people to apply. So our process is very straightforward. Like everybody, we want to get to know the town. What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? What are your priority and your goals and your objectives? One of the most important things you do as a board is hire and manage a town administrator, right? That's one of your chief executive is the most important. So when you decide what you're looking for, that's what will help us recruit the best people for the job. So it's your manager that you're looking for. We will interview each one of you. We will do a stakeholder interview or survey if you like. We don't typically recommend that. You're elected for your judgment. We think it's your decision to decide what you're looking for in the next leader, holder of this office. So we have done, open sessions, we have done surveys, but we really rely upon you and your judgment, and it's one of your most important. We develop a prospectus, a profile. We use that as our foundation. We also have extensive emails of people, we have a lot of contacts. The benefit we have is many of the people we recruit have been our clients at the center. We do all kinds of projects. We have a whole finance division of the Collins Center. So if your position is heavily financed, we know those people. We've either helped place those people. We do a lot of finance director searches. We're doing one for Tisbury right now. It's going to be a shame I have to go out to the island for that meeting. And if you're looking for somebody with planning experience, we do that work as well. So our networks are huge. But the people you're meeting tonight all have huge networks. So really, I want to focus on what our process is, and it might be the same or it might be different, and it's up to you to decide. We create the profile. We work with whatever committee you want us to work with. We facilitate what they do. We are not headhunters. We are not matchmakers. That's one thing that we distinguish ourselves. We're not going to say, oh, Mary's the best person for your job. You won't hear us say that. We will say, let's cast a net, see who comes in, let your process filter that out. We'll be your biggest cheerleader, but we're not gonna say, you know, this is a good candidate. We do a lot of direct recruitment. The best person for the job is often not looking for a job. You know, we get to those people who say, you know, thought of you about this. Sometimes there's a dance as a consultant, like you reach out to somebody and you say, I think you'd be a good fit. Sometimes we have to be very clear with candidates. You're our client, not them. You know, we're not their recruiter, we're your recruiter. And there's a nuance to that relationship. We don't have a list of friends we want to place. We don't have, you know, it really is anybody who is interested, we want to hear from you. And we do that outreach. We really like working with committees. They bring the lens of the municipality to the work. We're experts at what we do. They're experts at being here, you know, so we want to feed off of them with your profile as the guy. What we do is we do the profile. We'd like to meet with the screening committee as soon as the position is advertised. We do not wait until we get resumes. We do the work of the committee while the position is being advertised. It saves time. The busiest people who want to serve on committees are the busiest people for a reason, and scheduling is challenging. So we use that window of time. It used to be would advertise for a full month. I heard the end of your questioning. We're finding 3 weeks to 4 at the maximum is what's needed. You're still looking at January at a minimum before somebody starts. It's just the reality. But we are shortening the time frame. People apply on the first day and the last day, whether it's 21 days or 28 days. So people like either jump at it or wait. During that period, we will meet with the committee, come up with questions based on the profile. We will give sample questions, but it's up to the committee to decide questions. We will guide them. One thing about my HR background is I'm trained by the Mass Commission Against Discrimination. I've been fortunate to be trained on discrimination, ADA laws. We're very strict on confidentiality and the questions that you should not ask in an interview. And if there's a question you want to get at, we'll help you word it in a way that you can get at. So, you know, you don't ask about family obligations. You say, can you be at work at all of your work obligations? So sometimes we have to guide the committee a little bit on some questions that maybe we can help them get there and reword it. So we do that work. And the reason we do the work before they see the resume is really to avoid any bias. If committees, and we're all human, if they see the resume, they're like, oh, I want to ask that person that question. I want to ask him that or them that. By doing the questions based on the profile ahead of time, you're making sure we're looking at what you are looking at. Then we meet, we do a great job. Technology is grand. We used to mail out books of resumes when I started. Now we do confidential links that are, you know, password protected. But we also create a table in Word of all the candidates that apply. It's a handy reference. And committee members really like that. So instead of flipping through 20 resumes out of the who do we decide, they have a summary of each candidate in front of them. That we find helpful. One thing that we do that committees have told us they like is when we send them the resume, they see every resume. In case anybody wants to ask that question, the screening committee will see every resume. They get to determine with our guidance, does somebody meet your qualifications? We will point something out, oh, it doesn't seem like they have the years or whatever, but we will do that, but they get to decide. We give them a survey link and it's got all the candidates' name and they're answering one question. Do you want to meet this person? Not are they going to be the next person selected, but do you want to meet this person? And we have them say yes, maybe, or no. And we summarize that before the meeting we go to talk about the resumes. If there are people on the committee and there's 5 yeses, that person's going to get an interview. We don't even need to debate them. If there's 5 no's, they're not getting into. The maybes get into who we want to bring in. We are huge advocates. Rather bring them in than leave them out, because you might have missed somebody who maybe just on paper didn't look as good. You know, so we really are trying to cast as wide a net as possible, so long as they meet the criteria you have decided in your profile. We handle the questions, we handle the scheduling, we will do the background checks and the references before the names become public. So once the committee decides who they want to move forward, their potential finalists, until their backgrounds are checked. There have been times at the request of the board that we do the background after the board interviews. That's usually only because of time, that they want to get moving. So that is our process. It's very straightforward. We facilitate the work of the committee, and we give our technical advice. But we are not, if you're looking for somebody to find you the top 3 candidates, we're not going to presume to say that. We're looking to cast that net and let the process, follow the process. So I'll answer any questions, but I know you've got a big night.
And either one of you have questions?
No, the timeline was what I was gonna ask because we're on a tight time.
Yes, and it's budget season,
Right. Special town meeting. and-
Yeah, exactly. The reality is, and I did overhear my friend John, he's not wrong. The reality is, if you advertise in October, the screening committee work could be in November, and your final interviews could be in December. It's about how much notice. Now, if you hire somebody who maybe is in transition, you might have a January start date. It's really about those final interview dates, the availability of the committee, and how much notice somebody has to give. If they're a sitting town administrator, nobody offered a job in December is going to say, I can start in December if they have another job. So it will be 90% guarantee it will be January.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Brett,
would,
questions?
yeah, I would just say, I appreciate sort of expertise and attention and process around the discrimination and the objectivity of the process and the questions up front and holding that stuff confidential. I think that's all really, really important. So I very much appreciate you articulating that and the experience you've got in doing that work. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, great. Well,
Thank you very much for coming in tonight.
As we all say, just like we want to find the right person for you to hire, we want you to have the right firm that meets your needs. Have a great day.
Great.
Take care.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming. You want to negotiate?
Yeah, do we decide and have a motion? Do we?
It's entirely up to you. If you feel comfortable enough where you want to make this happen tonight, you certainly can. If it's something that you want to do some background information, you want me to do some follow-up for information to get you, so that you can better make up your mind and you can shift it to the next.
And it's gotta be at a meeting.
Well, let me ask you
Stick with
this
me.
too. Can I vote? If John Petron was chosen by the, can I vote where I've already worked with him?
Yeah, I don't see that as a conflict.
I mean, do you want to do follow-up? Do you want to decide tonight? Do you want to think about it? I
I'd
mean,
like
we
to
did,
get going.
I'd like to get going.
me too.
I'm
I mean, as much as we love you, Dennis, nothing personal, but we're ready to kick you to the curb and find
I'm
the
fine
fight
with
for that.
Yeah, so I think I honestly was surprised that at the end of Mary's conversation, like some of the things she articulated struck me in a way that I was not expecting. And so I sort of started off with like, okay, it'll definitely be Municipal Resources Inc. because, they're crushing it and they're good and they got Derek and that was great. And then after the second one, I was like, oh, well, they were really good. And then the third one, I was like, wow, they were really good. So I think we really can't lose. It's just a question of sort of what,
Which one?
if anything jumped out
Which one?
for either one of you, I don't know.
I do know Community Paradigm, the fact that they do run the Suffolk School and they have 600 people that have gone through their program that they are aware of. I mean, they do
That's
have the
great.
emails. They're local people.
Mhm.
We've always said Upton is a unicorn.
Yeah,
And being aware, being from the valley,
yeah,
I think makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because we are.
Yeah.
A different
You
community?
definitely rattled off a bunch of towns. It was like,
Um,
oh, okay, they've struck a lot more local.
Yeah,
data.
yeah,
It's been
that's what I
around a
mean,
long
you know, the first people seem to be a little.
Yeah.
God love them, they're going to Dalton, I've
Yeah.
been to Dalton, it's out there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, well, they're just spread
You
out.
know, which is, they're spread out
spread
more,
out.
they're larger.
Yep.
I was a little concerned with the Collins Center when she said, you know, we have 50 employees and,
Yeah.
um, it seems like a lot to me, I don't, it didn't give me the warm
Yeah.
fuzzies, let's put it that way. And quite frankly,
Yeah.
being me, there was no introduction, there was no handshake, it was just, I assume you know who I am and started.
Yeah.
I
Fair enough.
agree.
Fair.
I was, like I said, I think the community paradigm, I was impressed with them simply because of what I thought were their ability
Like the
to
network,
outreach and the network.
That's right.
I thought listening to it,
Yeah.
you know, I liked everything else said, but
Yeah.
they hit me like having
Yeah.
I think they might be able to pull the largest candidate pool, but that's my own opinion.
And the only thing I was a little, because definitely I was like, I love their list of towns that they supported. They're clearly local. I love having this sort of scholarly connection, right?
Mhm.
People coming out of those programs have a long tenure and a long list, right? Like you're not going to come here out of school, but it's that network of people that they've got, those 600 associates that are part of that sort of organization, and they're all having the conversations. And, you know, he said very clearly, like, Metro West, like, that's where we're going, because people are sort of coming out of the school, right? It's like they grow up in Suffolk, they go to school, then they come out and they start to migrate west and come out to live in these beautiful communities. So,
Right.
I think that sounded really, really good, and I could definitely.
I
It's
like
kind of-
their structure too, that, you know, some people do the recruiting, some people
That's right,
do the
communication,
communications.
yeah.
And, you
Yeah.
know, it seemed like 4 people, like.
Yeah.
Did very
different
well.
tests.
Yeah.
That was my opinion, but
All right.
my
I'm ready.
opinion. Okay. So,
Yep,
Okay. I make a motion that we select Community Paradigm Associates LLC to conduct the town manager search.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
I'm just thinking procedurally, I may need authorization to negotiate a contract with them.
Okay, do I hear a motion to
I
authorize
move-
Dennis?
I move to allow the interim town manager, Dennis Westgate, to negotiate the contract with Paradigm
And second,
LLC.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous.
The board, there was a fee in the contract.
Oh,
Did you see that? Not to, maybe a not to exceed 16,000.
Yeah, so I have authorization to sign it. That's okay, this doesn't hurt anything.
So the second.
Belt and suspenders.
Fee for the negotiation, correct? No amount.
Right, yep, right. Okay, that works. And look at that, we're running exactly on time as it hits 50. We are just
Easy, they were a
absolutely
minute ahead.
spectacular. Okay. So next up will be the interview of the town manager search committee candidates. First on the list is Philip DeZutter. Please take the hot seat. Welcome.
Shake hands first.
You can. Because obviously you were listening to me.
Let me see. Oh, that's
Good to
right.
see you. Thank you. So we have your application. If you don't mind telling us a little bit about yourself, why you'd like to be on the committee and what you think you'd bring.
So I'm Phil DeZutter. I've been in town for 26 years. I've raised my family here. My wife and I still live over on East Street, 177. We've got 2 kids that have gone through the school system and taken part in all the town has to offer. And I look at it from the standpoint about being able to participate in this committee and help select the next person that's going to play a critical role in helping kind of drive the town and managing the town forward. I have experience from the standpoint of being on the school committee for almost 12 years, helping to drive the superintendent process and selecting the new superintendents there, as well as in my work. I've worked in the corporate world for 30 plus years in various different senior roles, hiring senior people all over the world. So it's kind of my role in the world. If you have specific questions, I'm happy to ask and answer. I want to ask,
Questions?
I'm good, thank you.
Maureen?
I'm good.
I'm good.
It's the advantage of having been in this business a little while, you get to know people.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay. Next up is, I'm gonna leave, I know all three of us applied. I'm gonna leave us out. And we'll talk about that after.
Oh, sounds good.
I think that's easier. Is Sandra Hackler either here or online? Oh, good. Hi, Sandy, would
Downstairs.
you mind?
Hi. Hi, I'm actually downstairs in my office, multitasking.
Perfect.
I enjoyed listening to the interviews for the recruiting firm. Thanks for having me.
If you'd just like to tell us a little bit about yourself, why you'd like to help with the search committee and what you think you'll bring to the table.
Okay, as someone who's worked, lived, and raised my family in Upton for many years, and cares deeply about our town, I'd be honored to serve on the town manager search committee. Over the past 13 years, I've supported 4 different town managers and have a strong sense of the leadership qualities that Upton needs. In my role as HR director, I bring experience evaluating candidates. And since I'll be retiring not long after the new town manager begins, I can serve impartially and stay focused on helping choose the best leader for our community.
Okay. Yeah. Questions?
Thank you.
Comments?
No, thank you, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for attending. Next up would be Richard Henderson. Good evening. How are you?
Start with the most important.
Good to see you. Yeah, watch the course. Please don't.
You're really.
Don't trip.
I was gonna.
Was that the best to the least, or did it just happen that way?
Think about that. but
Just leave
the
it.
nice-
Good evening.
Good evening.
Most of you know me, I'm a lifelong resident of Upton. My family's been involved in the town for over 100 years, and that makes sense, but we lived in town in opposition to the fire department, 45 years, 38 as a senior leader. Got elected constable and just recently got elected constable with 2 votes. Well, I consider that. During my professional career, I managed hundreds of employees. And I screen candidates for employment, conducting hiring reviews, performance evaluations, assistance employee career growth recognition, and disciplinary actions, which included lead determination with excellent reviews. In my leadership roles, I've utilized my ability to analyze situations, evaluate candidates, and address any challenges. I recently served on the town of Upton Manager Act Review Committee, which allowed me to assert knowledge and understanding of the position, duties, and responsibility. Why I seek the appointment? First and foremost, I care about the future and well-being of Upton. This is one of the most important positions in town, and I want to contribute to the major governance decision. It is valid to ensure the candidate has the right quality and management experience, which will align with the town's overall demographics, values, and goals. I would advocate the applicant has to have strong discipline in municipal finance, human resources, crisis management, procurement, and encompassing contract management and union negotiations. In listening to the 3 previous consultants, they each brought up questions, and I am one that don't normally like to take the consultant questions. I would rather have the town develop their own. I believe in scenarios. Some of the questions we could all list what they would be right now. So I think that one of the key issues for the committee is to develop their own questions based on what we all believe is important. You can read resumes, you can look at people's past performance, but I think an interview usually gets you to where you need to be. Anybody can put anything on paper when they come in front of you. It is essential for the town manager to maintain a strong relationship with the select board. They're the elected officials in the town. Questions to a candidate can be formulated or asked based on the town manager to act with the board of selectmen. I bring it to the table a unique viewpoint based on my extensive personnel management knowledge with local, state, and federal government, along with considerations of our community needs, which would continue to be well-rounded selection process. I'm committed to transparency. And I want to thank the board for the opportunity to come and do the presentation.
Thank you.
Questions?
Questions?
No.
Thank you.
No, thank you for coming tonight. We appreciate it. Next up is Michael Moran. She will not? Okay. Excuse me?
She's in the emergency room with her daughter.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So Mike Moran, been in town 45 years. My kids, school system, got 34 years of business experience. The other job I had, manager, garage, all guys under me. Motorcycle organization, nonprofit, on that committee, well, board member for 20 years, 7 as a president. So on the business side, I bring a lot to it, you know, and how you deal with people. You know, you gotta have the right person to deal with people the right way, because as you know, it doesn't work. Communication needs to be involved on it. I think I bring to the table on the business side of it, a lot to it. You know, that's what I think, you know, I just want to find somebody that's gonna fit this town and work for this town. Not thinking about another town, this town itself. It is definitely a unique community, like the gentleman said earlier. We're definitely a unique community, and we have to be proud of our community. If we're not proud of it, what are we doing? You know? On it. That's me. And like I say, you all know me. I'll shake all your hands. That's it.
Okay, any questions, comments?
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks you, Michael. Kevin Pierce. Please don't try. That's part of the litmus test. Can you get by the wires without killing yourself? There you go. Get brownie points for that one.
So first of all, thank you for this opportunity. My name is Kevin Pierce. I moved this town 6 years ago, so not quite the pedigree of some of the people before me. I grew up with my wife and 3 kids, and we chose this community moving from Ashland, where I grew up, because of the character of the community. And I like to tell people it's the Ashland that I grew up in. Somebody talked earlier about everything's moving, and that's why I'm here. So I'm invested in the future of this community. So I have 15 years experience in municipal government in Ashland. During that time, I worked for 5 town managers, including Mr. Petron. He actually hired me. So that'd be a good working relationship. So I've interacted with the town manager both as an employee, as a union official, and as a supervisor. Kind of have a good understanding of what makes a good town manager and what qualities they need to have, because ultimately it comes down to people. And if they can handle people, the rest fall in place. So in my current role, I've participated in screening candidates, both for entry-level roles and supervisory roles. So again, that comes down to people and being able to judge people and their qualities and how they're going to fit into a particular role. So, so what do I bring? Fairness. I'm kind of an outsider, so I don't know a lot of these people. I'm fairly new to the town, but I've been here 6 years, settled in now, and I feel like it's time to give back and help out with the future of this community. Anybody have any questions?
Brett, Maureen?
Don't worry, I'm still an outsider and I've been here 25 years.
Takes a long time to become, your kids have a shot at it.
Great stuff. We appreciate it. Thanks for getting.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming.
so
Thank you
much.
for applying. We appreciate it. Bruce Revard, please.
Good evening. You're all my favorite.
Good.
Well done.
Well done. It's nice to see you. Hey, bud.
Tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in this town. I, went to the school system. I graduated from Valley Tech. I live in this town now. It's been for over 40 years. I did move out for short periods of time. My two daughters went through the school system. Been on the police department, you know that, everybody here knows that. I retired in 2020. I was on the department for 36 years. Before that, I was employed by companies where I had advanced to operations manager positions. I've hired private contractors, personnel. I had a team of workers at one point that were up to about 45 with one of the private companies I ever run. For the police department, I've done backgrounds. I've done plenty of investigations, also many interviews. And I think going into working on this committee, I'd be very helpful to the other members of the committee. I think that I'd be a star member on there, but I think I'd be very helpful to everyone on the committee as far as choosing a candidate. Two big things I look for is common sense and companionship with the other members of the committee. So if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions? Questions?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Next is William Testmer.
Oh, you, sir.
Brett, nice to meet you.
Meet you, Laura.
Nice to meet you.
Sue can't get up. We've got her stuffed in.
No, she's stuck.
Like,
See, if we don't
big
lock her,
guys here.
she wants to leave,
You know.
so. Thank you.
I live at 93 Elm Street. I lived here 45 years, graduated from the school system. And I've been on the elementary school needs committee, the building committee, the planning board for 10 years as associate member. And I was on the local housing partnership committee, which segued into the housing trust. One reason that I applied for this position is I'm concerned about town managers not staying here for long term. And I don't know if I can change that. I don't know if I can make it better, but I just like a chance to see if I could. This town runs really well. Thanks to you folks. It runs really well. And you need somebody that is gonna execute your needs and so forth, and be available to perform duties that you can't do on a daily basis. And those are important things for you. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm self-employed. I have one part-time employee. She's been with me for many, many years. And I've been through a lot of interviews with my clients. And one thing I found that some interviewees can interview really well and they are not good people. And so it's a difficult thing to sort people out when you're interviewing. It really is. But I promise to do my best for you. Question?
Sounds good. Questions, either?
Awesome.
No.
Thank you so much for all your service.
Coming.
Thanks.
So Mike has just said Diane unfortunately is in the emergency room, so I would like to give her an opportunity to present. I don't know what anyone thinks.
I thought we wanted to get going.
We do,
I'm ready to go.
we do know.
I know Diane pretty
Diane.
well.
Okay. And as far as the three of us, only one of us can serve. So
Great.
that's why I didn't interview the three of us. Ourselves, yeah. We all know each other. I will say, unless somebody has strong opinions, I'd like to do it.
Love that.
You've seen as chair, I tend to let you guys ask all the questions and I sit back, but, I don't know. If somebody is extremely.
Definitely think one of us should be there. I would certainly support you doing it.
Okay, I don't,
No, I will too.
okay, well.
Alright.
That's one down with
Great.
4 to go, right?
One down, 4 to go.
Okay, so how do you want to do this?
Do I just give you my 4 names? I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Go ahead, rattle them off, start one at a time.
I don't know how we do this, it's like picking the scholarships,
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing, yeah,
Look at, the biggest thing, can I just say,
sure.
is, right, like, just hearing the commentary and the background and the interest of the people that just sat up here to do this work, right? Like, if you're not proud of Upton, what are we doing here? I love that, right? Like, if you're not proud of this town, what are we doing here? I don't care if it's the town manager search committee or if it's the town manager. I'm gonna ask the town manager that when we're interviewing them. That's gonna be one of my questions, I think. If you're not proud of this town, what are you doing?
Right.
So anyway,
Right, okay.
great, great,
If you
great,
wanna-
great stuff. So, I love, I look for a mix of skills and backgrounds and perspectives. I've found in doing this in the past that having, if you're overweighted on people that are just been in town for 100 years and underweighted on people that have been in town for 6 years, you sort of miss something. And obviously the other way, definitely, we would never go that way. So, in looking at all of the folks, I had Bruce Rivard as one that I would definitely recommend and support.
Okay.
So if you all had others,
I support Bruce.
okay. I like to have someone from sort of the school angle, which I thought Phil had, and he's been here for a very long time and it sort of has that balance of grounding with the school system, with the superintendent searches. That's obviously gone well. The schools are doing great. That search has gone great, right?
I would have picked him too because, we all know that our new superintendent is excellent.
And I'd like to see a new perspective on things, and I would like to recommend Kevin Pierce.
I have, no problem with him. I think he brings a fresh perspective.
And the fact that
And the fact-
that he's worked with the search firm
It-
that we just hired.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Well,
so
and
that's great.
he's hired people and he came here for a purpose, which is,
Love it,
okay,
love it.
yep. Next,
It would be, I was thinking of William Chestnut.
I'd support William. I think, I too think I'd like somebody who's gonna stay.
Yeah.
It's been tough. We've had 3 people, short term. I don't think it helps us grow. I don't think it helps the town. And I think that was a valid point for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then.
Yeah.
I would be, if we're all in agreement on that,
You'd be, but yeah.
I'd be the 5th.
I'd make the motion.
Okay, go ahead.
I move that we appoint Phil DeSutter, Laura Hebb, Kevin Pierce, Bruce Rivard, and William Tessima to the Town Manager Search Committee.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. So it sounds like we'll get the consultant up and running. And the town will reach out to the candidates and we appreciate everything. Thank you everyone for coming and
All the
volunteering.
time.
More importantly, thank you for volunteering because that really is the backbone of our town and we appreciate it. All right.
Website is really great for this town. All of
We've
it
worked-
put together. I did talk to Maureen over there about it.
Thank you.
It's really good. Lately, I've been, job that I do have part-time, is going to websites just to get information, and really nothing beats this town so far.
Have you noticed, we just started last month a newsletter? And what it is, we posted it and it's kind of links to everything. So whether you want to do recreation or activities or anything,
Yep.
Trying,
Right.
but thank you. We appreciate that.
Thanks for your time. man.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for coming. So next is public input or board member update. Is there anyone in the audience that, hi, Lynn,
Hello.
come take the hot seat.
I'm gonna go to the hot seat.
Have you noticed we don't have wheels on it tonight? So
It's actually
No
really
deals,
nice,
thank you.
that's probably a better idea.
just in general.
I just want to remind everybody about Heritage Day. We're excited about it. The whole
Up Saturday, yes.
Saturday.
be on the common and the community, out at, by the community center. There's a whole schedule on our wonderful website, so.
Yep.
just want to remind everybody.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you,
And
Lynn.
let's hope we have spectacular weather. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks, Lynn. Any other public comment? Mr. Flaherty?
I sent the Susan and Dennis a note earlier today that there is a vacancy on the DPW building committee, that we had one member recently resigned.
Okay.
That I assume you
We'll
will
have to post that.
at another meeting.
Okay, we'll post that and see if we get, so for all our millions of people that are listening to us, if anybody wants to be on the DPW building committee, apparently there's an opening.
Since we are ahead of schedule,
Yes,
I did just want to add one thing.
okay.
I was driving around town the other day and I thought of you, Ben. And yes, you,
Oh,
and in a great way. And I thought to myself, you know what? I was thinking about accessibility
okay.
to various buildings, our focus on that, how important that is, and the bit of work we've done at Pratt-Hahn and Kiwanis up there.
Yeah.
And I started to think about, like, you could literally, that could be a defining characteristic of your community if you were handicap accessible green space. And so like we could work with the Land Stewardship Committee or the Conservation Commission to start to create more intentionally create accessible outdoor experiences for elderly, for folks that are in wheelchairs or whatever it might be. And actually, and one of the things that made me think about that was in Hudson, there's a lake that's there, and they've just put in this boardwalk that is clearly acceptable. And it's just, yeah, and it's maybe that's Marlboro, and it's this big long, I was like, that's great. Like you could create, there's got to be open space in town that is right for a little bit of extra work and curation to make it fully accessible, not like, millions of dollars of ramps through I'm saying like, right, just a gravel path instead of a ruby path.
But that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I have sent in when conservation, open space has looked at things. I've worked
Yeah.
with Dennis before, looked
Yeah,
at different,
yeah.
Different aspects. There's a lot that's out there, for funding for this.
Yeah,
Under open space, you've also CPC, open
Yeah,
space and recreation, all of that.
right.
There is, I can send you, the information
Yeah.
on, the state website.
I would
with all
love,
that.
I would love that. I would love that. Because I just think about like what it is that attracts people to Upton and what makes Upton so special for the people that are here.
Well, look at all the new boardwalks they've done. If you, go to the, I'm trying to think of which website it is, all the, all like the beaches and, Mass Audubon
Yeah.
just did a couple of
Yeah.
open spaces where they've got boardwalks with railings and everything that's the right size, so. Yeah, I can send you information. Excuse me?
They do want to know back in South Native.
Yes, yes, they did from South Native too.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of that, there's funding for it available
Yeah.
and there's,
Yeah.
they've really come up with better plans.
Yeah.
I do it, so I'll send you something.
That would be great. And it's part of what we're doing with this funding for the schools, right, around.
Right.
That was part of what they're doing up at Nipmuc is to be able to get around there a little
I've
bit.
said it for years because I walk a lot in town and depending on the condition of my knee or whether or not I've broken a foot or two recently, It's difficult. You don't realize how painful walking on uneven ground is until you're not 100%. Same
Yeah.
thing like,
Yeah.
you know,
And you
when you
still-
got a broken leg and you're on crutches and you can't get into a
That's right.
building. It's,
Man.
Right.
and it's necessary. Even, I can remember walking with my children, trying to push a stroller
Yeah, yeah.
up and down Grove Street,
Yeah.
trying not to get killed. So, thank you, Brett.
I can text you.
Okay,
Thank you.
any other public input, board member updates? Yes, I don't know. Dennis, did you hear that?
You have to accept the resignation.
Okay, we don't have the resignation
I
yet then.
just got the letters. Yes.
Okay, we'll put it on the next agenda, which I think may be sooner than we all think. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
okay, so next up, if there's no other public comment, I can see initial, but I can't see anything over there at this angle.
It's just Sandy.
Okay, that's fine. So, change of manager application, request for approval, Nipmuc Road and Gun.
Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Ian Bell.
Oh, you're gonna say, that's.
Of course I am. Ian Bell.
Nice to meet
You got
you,
the
Ian.
memo, right?
Yes, I did.
Holding down,
Nice to meet you all.
we all have our little pet peeves, that's one of mine.
I am currently the president of the Rod and Gun Club. I have been for the last 4 years. I've been a member up there since 1966. And I became active when I got out of the military in 1985. I've sat on the board of directors for close to 30 years. I served as chairman for 12, and I have a very vested interest in this organization.
Okay.
And I'm petitioning the town of Upton for a change of manager on the club's liquor license. Our current manager is overwhelmed with raising a family, and she asked that somebody else take over, and I volunteered to do it. I'm very new to this process, but thanks to Susan, I have kind of gotten my way through it well. She's had to spank the back of my hand a couple of times for me because I haven't gotten the paperwork in on time, but we're working on it. So that's a little bit about me, but I don't know what else to say, so I'll take questions.
Okay, any questions, comments?
Me?
It's fine with me. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah.
Let's see. I move to approve the Nipmuc Rod and Gun Club change of manager application and appoint Ian Bell as the new manager, subject to all applicable local and state licensing requirements.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Congratulations. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Okay, there we go.
We'll be there for the Halloween party.
Oh, no smoke detectors this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is a request for approval of a one-day liquor license for the men's club at the VFW Hall on 11/8 for a Texas Hold'em.
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so we're looking to do follow up to the one that we had months ago at VFW. And it worked out. We were able to get some for the charity and so on, so we're gonna do it again. Probably
Okay.
gonna do it in this time frame. Hopefully years to come.
Questions, comments?
Nope.
Do I hear, excuse me?
Just the date is November 8th.
What did I read?
It's in the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve the one-day liquor license for the men's club at VFW Hall on 11/8 of 2025 for a Texas Hold'em event.
Do I hear a second?
Oh, second. I thought you were gonna read after a while.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Thanks for coming.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Good luck. VFW road race request, boy, say that 3 times fast, huh? Road race request.
Crushed it.
Is anybody here to present it? This is something we do every year, I believe.
Yes. And dunk.
Craig,
See him on. He's
Wine
going
festival.
to Craig.
Sean Craig, yes. Well, I think we do this every year. Does anybody have any questions?
I would just say, and as long as the police and fire are good with it, we're good with it.
Did I see in the packet that they did sign off?
Yes.
We got all of that already. You do. Then we're good. from my
Okay,
perspective.
do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the VFW Road Race Kids Fun Run to be held at the VFW Ball Field on October 4th, 2025, as presented, subject to the coordination with public safety officials.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Appointments. Request for approval and waiver of a 15-day review period for DPW heavy equipment operator.
Yes, so we are starting to fill our positions up. This is fantastic. We recently hired a Parks and Forestry Cemetery individual, and this is one of the 2 vacancies in the highway heavy equipment operator. We have an individual who has applied, who has worked for the town of Northbridge and the town of Webster and has all of the necessary licenses and the experience, and we're thrilled to have him.
Awesome.
Great. Do we need a motion?
I move to waive the 15-day review period for the hiring of Arthur Ferreira, Department of Public Works Heavy Equipment Operator, in accordance with the Town of Upton Personnel Bylaw.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Request for approval and waiver of a 15-day review period for Police Department Lieutenant and Sergeant.
So in your packet, you have a recommendation letter from the chief. The chief has gone through his process and has identified 2 of the strong candidates to put forward. You have a lieutenant position, which will need to be negotiated with myself as the interim town manager for the contract, and you have a sergeant's position. We're asking that you waive the 15-day appeal process so we can get moving forward.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
Nope.
Neither do I. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we waive the 15-day review period for the police department lieutenant and sergeant.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Contract renewal for retrofit.
So it's a lot of paperwork. I'm sure that you've perused it all. And it was previously negotiated and worked out with the previous town manager with the assistance of IT. And I came in at the latter half of it when Joe had mentioned to me that, Dennis, I didn't get this done before I went out the door, and it needs to be, we need to put the bow on it. The package is all set to go. So it is, the contract was there for your perusal. It's a $71,000+ contract. I asked Chris to be available tonight to speak to you about any of the incidentals, any of the specifics within the contract. It covers the police department's IT, it covers the town hall's IT, and it covers our cloud, our cloud license.
Yeah, cloud licensing, backups, server monitoring, kind of the whole package that they give us. It's the same that they were giving us before, it's just kind of updated. There's a few, we negotiated it with them before to kind of get it right. The cost that they're charging us, that they were charging us before, is the same. So there shouldn't be any difference in that. The increase, if, I don't know if it shows the increase in there, there was, I think it was about a $14,000 increase, is mostly just from like Microsoft licensing. Just year over year, it continues to go up. But it's a 36-month contract it would be signed, so it's 3 years, so it would be lots.
And we have a budget, we have an annual appropriation that will meet all but 1,000 of that. And I think that was the same problem we ran into last year and had to move a little bit of money to make the rest of it work, which I'm sure when I sit down with Kenny and probably the police chief, I'll be able to find that.
Questions, Brett?
Yeah, does this company retrofit have anything to do with this situation?
No, that's a CCS.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
We did that, it's actually,
Look on his face. Lucky that.
Yeah.
yeah, that was through a grant, so we hired them through a grant, because retrofit doesn't do, they don't do it. So.
This is our security, all of our backup, protects our server.
Nice.
Yeah, antivirus.
Right.
They monitor our firewalls, they monitor our servers. They do the same for the police. They do like 24-hour monitoring for the police. So if something happens in the middle of the night, that's who the police will call or they'll call them.
Do they ever run any kind of penetration or vulnerability testing?
Yeah, they have, I have access to it. It's kind of like a portal.
Yeah.
They kind of show you like what they're doing and like what they see. They have their own, I don't know what the name of it is. It's in here. It's their like own, name. It's like an endpoint antivirus kind of, that they like constantly monitor everything and constantly just to see like what's coming in and what's coming out, which I think for us is pretty important.
Great, thanks.
Maureen, any questions?
No.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I move to approve the contract renewal with Retrofit as presented, subject to final review by town council and the interim town manager.
Second motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're welcome. So review the proposed updates to the personnel policy and procedure manual.
Sandy is here.
Yes,
Do we have our council on?
I don't see them.
we're about 2 minutes early. Are they coming?
Do you know if Sam's coming or Kate?
Yeah, the email suggested that they were.
Yes.
In person?
No,
On Zoom?
yeah.
Okay,
I was expecting-
can they?
They were very into it in person when we spoke.
Is there anyone trying to get into the meeting? Because I know getting into our meetings can be challenging.
Bentley.
They should be able to come and go unless they leave, so
Okay,
you shouldn't have to, but that's the only person that's here right now.
Is he waiting? Do we need to do something to welcome him?
I don't know.
And is that
Amen.
Matthew, anyone we know?
I don't know.
He might just be in the audience. He wants to be in the audience. I don't think this has anything on it that stops them from coming in because
okay.
I was freely joining earlier. So
Okay.
That's the only.
I can let them in if you would like.
I don't know, I mean.
Not exactly.
We're just looking for somebody, so if we see them in the lobby, I figured that might be a logical place to click.
We've had such spectacular luck with this system lately, you know, we just don't.
Well, we
just
did
wondered.
good all night. And
Yeah, we did, you know, hey.
to the very end.
Should we, I don't know.
So it's
Have
gonna
you
be up to the
spoken?
board. Would you like Sandy to walk you through the items that legal counsel was going to assist us with? She's extremely familiar with everything, so am I. I realize what was gonna be presented tonight and what town council was going to discuss. Sandy's perfectly capable of presenting it.
Would you like the hard copy?
Sure.
I mean,
Lynn, could you shut that door? Sounds like we're getting
Vacuum.
a vacuum.
Thank you.
No, but it sounds like angry ants. Thank you.
Is it same or different than the one we've got?
I don't know, is this,
it's in the package, but sometimes if you need to make notes on
No.
a copy.
Just want to make sure.
Nope.
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Many trees, but just.
They're dead anyhow, so we've got them. I said the trees obviously died, so we've got them.
On your recommendation, we have it reviewed by town council first, I did, and they made some changes. They didn't make any changes to the intent of the policies that we are presenting, but they changed a may to a can and just to, as they normally do and I do expect them to, is to put it in legal form so that everybody's protected. Just changing some of that. So what you have in front of you is, has all been vetted and approved through town council. But again, they didn't change the scope or the intent of the policies. The first policy is the compensatory time for exempt employees. Again, I mentioned, giving an example, for instance, the town clerk during election season. She's working an extraordinary amount of hours. She's coming in at 6 a.m. and leaving at 10 p.m. And all the additional hours that she has to be at work. So something like that, we would allow for, consider compensatory time through the town manager, to give you an example of what we're trying to do. Exempt employees are exempt from overtime. We don't pay any exempt employee overtime through.
Sorry to, just to have, make a conversation.
Yeah,
A question. So like today, in the absence of this, because this is trying to create, this is creating something new that doesn't exist today, correct? For
Yeah.
generally for the compensatory time for non-exempt employees.
Exempt, and then there's a separate
Or exempt.
different one for non-exempt.
So like the town clerk who puts in all those extra hours during town meeting season or elections, what happens today?
She
It's
works.
just part of the job expectation. You just do it. And so this is just going to be a net cost to taxpayers to get the same service they're getting now. They're going to pay a lot more money for it, but we're going to be compensating our people more generously.
She's not receiving any more compensation for it. She's getting comp time.
It's comp time.
Comp
Time. Yeah, okay.
Okay, it's comp time. There's
So
no
this
additional
is time. This isn't
money
money that's going to hit a budget. This is time.
for exempt.
Recognizing that we can't pay them for those hours, but what we can do is sort of swap the hours to times when they're not less required, because it's not.
And
Right. Right, our demand for a town clerk isn't 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. It goes like this, and this is just a way for us to smooth it out a little.
So the
I
town
got it.
clerk is
Thank you.
on salary?
Yes.
Yeah.
An exempt employee.
She's an exempt employee.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's not, through the chair, if I may.
Yes, please.
So she's allowed to have by state law compensatory time. What she's not allowed to have is time and a half compensatory time, because she's not an hourly employee. And I'm sure Sandy can explain the difference between that.
No.
But so you have compensatory time that works for both.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like, it sounds a little bit like the way my job is, right? It's like I work for Fidelity and my demand isn't 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. It's like there's weeks I'm 100 hours a week and there's weeks that I'm less than 40 hours a week, and I smooth it out and me and my boss know what I'm doing and we're good. So is that kind of?
So as a better example.
Yeah.
When we look at the total, if we look at the whole town.
Yeah.
All of your unions have this already.
Yeah.
They all have it. Yeah. All of your contractual employees have it. I'm sorry, I don't have this language, but I have the means to be able to have this kind of compensation time off.
Yeah.
So this is simply the rest of your employees that are not covered in the union, or they don't have a contract with the town.
Already. It's just sort of like.
Consistent with everybody else.
Right. And I'm just trying to gauge like the impact to taxpayers or the impact to morale, or like, what are we? There's an impact to morale, so people will.
But it's a positive impact.
A positive impact to morale, right.
Right.
And it doesn't cost us anything. It's a positive
No,
impact to morale. It doesn't.
it's correct.
Well, that's my question, yeah.
If you have to have coverage.
And because you need coverage, they can bank 40 hours. That gives them an extra 4 weeks a year if they want.
So town clerk who said.
She's salary.
100 hours last week, but I'm gonna take this week off. I'm gonna take these 3 days off. We've got to pay somebody to.
You gotta have
sit in that front
coverage.
Office to cover, then there's a little bit of cost there. I see, okay. So it could, I get it. Yep.
But the town clerk is not in charge of defining this there herself.
No.
Just because somebody tracks their time and says approves their time.
Yeah.
So it's just like
And
everything
manages
else.
the budget. The director of the departments are gonna manage their overtime budgets. To decide, do I need to have someone to cover or not cover, or can we just swap it out or whatever.
More
I
question?
think I get it.
Oh, I know, I don't.
I know, you know this inside out.
I know.
Yes.
That's why I'm like, I think it makes sense to me. Compensatory time for,
And there's a limitation.
yeah,
to 40 hours.
yeah. And then the sick leave accrual, the vacation leave, the longevity pay, like, why are all these things coming up?
The other policies?
Yeah.
Sick leave and vacation.
Which one?
Yeah.
is one?
I'm just generally, I'm saying like what prompted the review of all of these things at this time?
Look at some policy procedure manual
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Especially this year, because we just had 3 contract renewals. which
Yeah.
are At least 5,
Yeah,
2 with DPW.
got
So
it.
we try to make
Yeah.
everybody have an even playing field.
Yeah.
So if something has changed here, we want to treat all our employees fairly.
And from an HR perspective, it's like you were expending cycles doing those contracts last year. Those are done. So now there's capacity to go and do this for the rest of I call it the rest of the organization, but yeah, I got it. Rest of the family, maybe that's a better way to do it. Yeah. Great. Okay.
And we've been developing these over the last year. They just seem to just
Yeah.
count as being out in bunch.
Yeah.
For time purposes.
And then the personnel board, they've reviewed these, they
Yes,
do this,
they've accepted them all.
they've accepted all of it. Yeah, and the board role is what in this, just sort of approve it.
Personnel.
You have to-
We have 2
Yeah.
questions going on. We have 2
Sorry.
discussions
No,
going on.
I haven't seen the personnel board meeting, and maybe I missed it, I don't know. But when did the personnel board meet? I mean, they haven't had a full board since.
They've had a quorum. They've had 4 people. They've had a quorum. They've met, and I have all the dates. I think I have the dates listed on each policy when they accepted them. But I can get you the.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Every 3 years. I'm sorry, Sam.
If you look at vacation, it was approved by the personnel board on their June 13th, 2024 meeting. And the addition was October 2nd, 2024.
Yeah.
And it was on all of them, sorry, time, but I can check your last meetings. If that date was, that's what they accepted that.
Okay.
Every 3 years, all of the union contracts.
Right, all of them, it's taking the natural cycle, right? It's like the way our capital runs on cycle, right? There's things that are on a 1-year cycle, there's things that are on a 5-year cycle, there's things that are on a 10, 12, what we're talking about, right? Like, so this is just part of the normal cycle of going through our HR policies to update them and make them consistent across. Yeah,
5 years.
that's right. And so we do that every 5 years and stuff. So
And it was,
Also on the Town Managers Act, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be worked in conjunction with the board. The policy, any policy, not
Yeah.
just not just personnel, any policy.
Yeah. Great.
We should have been involved in it from the get-go.
Oh, wait.
I don't know if I don't know if I feel the same way, first, frankly. Like, I mean, I get it, right? But it's like, I can't do everything. We have a personnel
Then
board.
take it
we
out
have
of
a
the
HR.
Town Managers Act if he has to do that, or she has to do that, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume the town manager was heavily involved in all of this.
But it directly says with the board.
Well, that's why we're looking at it. Town manager works.
Well, it's all done.
The town manager
Did
works.
we have any input?
yes, you can approve it or not.
We do. That's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
And sometimes that's what leadership, for me, like sometimes that's what leadership is, right? Like you don't navigate all of the details. You get the recommendation, you put your best people on your most important work, and what comes back is their recommendations and a proposal.
Then
And they-
take it out of the Town Managers Act. Because it is listed that why put it in the act if you're not gonna follow it?
Well, what do you mean not follow it?
And it says in conjunction with the board.
Right? So there's an interpretation, obviously, of what in
Something,
conjunction
right.
means.
If I
Right?
haven't
So
got
my
the exact,
interpretation is in conjunction means they're gonna check with us and they're gonna ask for our feedback and they're gonna bring it before us to give them feedback.
okay, You do it.
And your in conjunction is you want to be part of the negotiation and the development of the details.
I don't care, but if it's in the act, it should be done. If it's not in the act, then you don't do it. That's all.
If it says in conjunction, it's just a question of what in conjunction means, right?
Okay.
That's sort of nuance.
All right, we get that.
Yeah. I think we,
Okay. There are more questions, comments?
I'm good.
And this is consistent with other towns, correct?
It is, and like I said, the unions have representation through their union leaders to come before the town and every 3 years and negotiate their contract. People like myself and your other department heads, your police chief, your fire chief, we negotiate our contracts. But there are a great many employees for the town that don't have union contracts, some of them don't have personal contracts, and they fall underneath your personnel board, which is why your personnel board reviews with HR and the town manager your current personnel policies and procedures and tries to keep them somewhat in line with what the rest of the town is getting. Otherwise, people will be like, well, why am I doing this when I could be doing that in the union and I could be getting the perks that they're getting, but I don't get those. So they try to create a more level playing field. Now, I don't believe that you see anything in front of you that you wouldn't find in other contracts.
Short of your concerns about the process, is there content in here that you're like, oh, because I don't want to make a motion to approve this.
Okay.
If I see.
I
if
don't
you look at-
believe, my personal
Yeah.
views, I don't believe in compensatory time. I believe in paying the employees time and a half.
I see, okay.
Which we
But that's.
do have in the dark.
Yeah, okay.
So the non-exempt people will
We'll
get
get
time and a half,
hours.
but the exempt people, the salary people, say, for example, the town clerk, would get compensatory time because she's not entitled to time and a half?
Right, we're not taking time and a half opportunity away from anybody. We're just giving people, or.
But
wait,
that's
wait,
the
hold
whole
on. What are you
thing
raising
with
your hand for? Why did you raise your hand? What?
No,
Right, but you get a salary.
no, she's out.
You're an hourly employee that
And she
doesn't get
does
time
not
and a half, and you
So
don't
when you
get
come
paid.
here,
Take compensatory.
And this basically is just gonna solidify that, but you're saying you'd rather get paid time and a half.
Can I ask a
I don't want to
question?
be on the spot.
Yes,
I'm just trying to,
please. No,
it's just,
no.
it's just a
No,
great
because
real
I
world
think we
example.
need
It's just
to
a great
know.
real world example, right? Because this is the stuff you
Yeah.
don't understand.
and this is
Understand
stuff
it.
we don't know.
That's right.
We don't budget for.
Right.
Yes, Dennis, please.
So I just have a question for Sandy because I'm not familiar with the answer to this question. In all of my experiences through the years, 30+ years, every single town I've worked in, we've had compensatory time off. And it's always been defined as such. It has to be requested by the employee and approved by the employer. Is that the case here?
Yes.
Which means that my employee cannot tell me that when he works overtime for a tree call out, he wants compensatory time off. He can request it of me and I can grant it, or I can say, no, you're gonna take the pay.
Yeah.
I can't deny him one or the other, but I can determine. Or if we're having a tight budget year and I have some overtime coming up for the community center and I gotta weed it and I need to get it done, but I don't have the money. And I say to my staff, listen, I'm gonna give you the weekend to get it done. Will you agree to compensatory time off in lieu of time and a half? Because I'm at the end of the fiscal year and I don't have the money in my budget.
Yeah.
So would they get paid the compensatory time at? time?
1.5 times, correct. That's the law.
That's the
Yes, I know it is.
I know you know. So that was my question. So it's not an automatic.
Yeah.
There are checks and balances.
Okay.
There is the ability to make sure that it doesn't get out of hand or
Yeah.
people don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And how much of that have you seen in your lifetime as a DPW?
I haven't.
Enough then.
Not nothing,
Oh,
that's what happens.
I think that when we first did it in Webster, it got out of hand on us because we didn't put a cap on it. And then we negotiated the cap on it and that brought it back in the line. Because people just went crazy with
That
it.
negotiate a cap,
Yeah,
because people were like all over the place.
They
Like,
were.
You couldn't tell if
They
people
were.
working or not. Oh, I know.
It just got
I
out
can
of hand.
imagine.
but what I see now is consistent with what I've been seeing for the last 15, 20 years and all the time, Plymouth, all the other towns that I've been in, and it works very well. And the employees appreciate it and the employer appreciates it. Because a lot of times it saves our budget. And that's okay if they want to take Friday off. So take Friday off. Can I have Friday off this Friday off, boss, for 8? I've got 15 hours on the books of compensatory time. Yeah, okay, wait, I check with my superintendent.
One in the department.
Pardon?
Shows, yeah, they're the only one in the department working in that department, then they want their compensatory. Who's gonna take?
Whoever their supervisor is gonna have to determine how that's gonna be covered.
So the compensatory time that you disagree with, is that both for exempt and non-exempt, or is it just one of these, one or the other?
No, I'd go, but I don't believe in compensatory time, period,
Period.
period.
Okay. So.
Never have.
Okay, so we may agree to disagree as a board about compensatory time. Are you okay with the sick leave accrual, the vacation leave, and the longevity pay discussion stuff?
Oh, yes, that's already been established.
That's already been established, so that's fine. Okay. Do you have a feeling on the compensatory time strongly one way or the other, or questions, or like how do we?
I don't have questions. I don't feel strongly one way or another. You know my weakness. I've always worked for myself. I can hire and fire myself. I have Zippo employment experience.
And you know, my weakness is sometimes a strength, sometimes a weakness is I defer to the experts that are running our organization. We're running a $30 or $40 million organization, depending upon how you count, apparently. And so if we've got $40 million worth of stuff we're worrying about, and we've got a town manager and an HR director and an interim HR director or an interim town manager, and a personnel board that all think this is reasonable and appropriate for our community, then I would support them in that recommendation.
I think that would be I know you don't believe in compensatory time, but if this brings our employees equal on the same level playing field as our union employees, I don't want to harm our regular employees because they're not union.
Yeah.
So I would agree to the compensatory time.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so I can make that motion.
We'll make a couple of different ones because it sounds like on the vacation and the longevity, we're all in agreement.
So I'll do the ones that we're gonna probably have a split vote on first. I make a motion that we approve the personnel policy and procedure manual with regard to compensatory time policy, the compensatory time policy for exempt employees and compensatory time for non-exempt employees as presented by the HR director.
I'll second that. Because I assume you won't. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No,
Abstain? Thank you.
no, not a thing.
Well,
2-1.
sorry, no.
2-1.
It's late, Maureen. It's deny. Is it deny or is it reject? So you got the right words. Okay, 2-1. The sick leave accrual, vacation time and longevity.
I make a motion that we approve the sick leave accrual, vacation leave, longevity pay discussion, updates to the personnel policy and procedure manual as presented by the HR director.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Friendly amendment to the effective date.
Yes. When do you want the effective date? I thought all these ones say July 1st, so I assumed that was as written. Yeah, is that,
Effective date.
yes,
July 1st.
yeah,
Thank you.
so as presented, including that. Yeah, is that,
I just wanted to be clear.
yep,
Thank you.
good.
All right.
Great work, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight, Sandy.
Trying to advocate for our employees.
Doing it.
We're down to future agenda planning. Mr. Chastain.
I was just gonna.
We did raise the white flag.
He's like, what do you mean January?
No, I was expecting, I was hoping I wasn't gonna hear February or March.
I'm glad we did.
But I was expecting January. I think that we're okay for our next meeting is in 2 weeks, right?
I believe so.
I gotta look at my calendar.
No problem.
I am gonna recommend to the board that probably beginning with that meeting, we up our meeting schedule until we either make it to town meeting or we are ready for town meeting. And then as in, we have heard all the presentations we need to hear. We've had our workshop with our finance director and met with FinCom, and everything has been fully vetted, and we are ready to present and feel confident. I'm just feel like time is creeping up on us fast.
Okay, I know you've talked about doing a workshop with Kenny Costa for finance, and I don't know, without looking at
Kenny has asked for sometime around the first week of October, because he feels as though he will be close enough to certification of free cash that he's not rolling the dice in when he recommends his financial recommendations.
Okay, so is September 30th close enough to the first week of October that we could bring him in on a nighttime on a Tuesday night and potentially meet with us?
October.
September 30th, because the first is a Wednesday, so
Right.
right now we're on the 23rd. So if we do it before our next meeting, which would be the 7th, I believe. Do you think he could meet the 30th? Or could you ask him? A workshop with us and maybe finance to talk about,
I can.
I mean, you can ask him if he can't make it, if he says, well, geez, I can't do that, but maybe I can do a different date.
Because otherwise, correct me.
I just don't want to
It's
keep,
gonna be October 7th,
right,
October 21st, and then town meeting, right?
yeah, pretty much. So I
don't
think,
believe 2 meetings is gonna do it.
I don't think so either. So I'd like to get Kenny in sooner if we can.
Okay.
If he can appear next week on the 30th, and if finance can come
I'm sure we can get finance
present once. September, yes,
Next week.
next week, which is September 30th. Because my little red dot tells me today's the 23rd and the next Tuesday is the 30th.
If you cannot, then my
Okay.
recommendation is we do the 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. That gives us 4 meetings to get that done. And I do have confidence that we will get all that done in those meetings. But I will ask if you'd like for the 30th.
I'd like to, yeah, I'd rather err on the side of getting an extra meeting in than
If he's,
waiting and running out of time. If he says I can't do it the 30th,
you want to move to the 7th,
yes, please.
That's fine.
Can we
With
make
me,
it that he try very hard to make it on the 30th?
Yes.
Get done.
Yes,
Well,
because
what-
I don't think we can really move forward without,
Concern having a clearer enough sense of free cash.
I just think numbers overall, I
The
think.
numbers, it's a discussion. He has an estimate of what he thinks the free cash is gonna be.
Yeah,
This is just the workshop.
yeah.
And
but as far
this is
as I
just a
know,
workshop and
Kenny's-
finance
he's
is
still
looking.
closing out books. That's what I'm understanding, Maureen. So if that's the case, then he's gonna want, so the closer we get to the certification, the more he hears from state aid, the more he hears from all of the things that are important to him, to give him a level of confidence when he when he recommends to the board that we have strong finances to support these items that you want to do. Or whether he thinks that we're putting ourselves in jeopardy. And I just want to make sure that Kenny feels comfortable. And that's why he asked Dennis, I would really appreciate it if we could hold off till the first week of October. I feel, based on my experiences, that by that time frame, I will have certified free cash, but I'll have a pretty good understanding of where we are with it. So, but I will ask.
If he said, hey, I can't come in on the 30th, the numbers come out the first, then it's a moot point.
So.
But
the
if
board
we could
wants-
try the 30th, I'd appreciate it. Yes,
He's
please.
gonna trust me.
Yes. I think he's eyeballing you.
he's looking at you.
You!
Dennis, he's looking at you.
I have always trusted. That is a bad question to ask.
Okay.
And now she's pissed at you.
I think I struck a
That was perfect.
I think I struck
That
a
was
nerve.
like, you are pulling my leg and I don't appreciate it.
That's right.
I knew it went right over your head.
I was busy.
I know you were. I knew you wanted to get this
Just
shit out of it.
sitting peacefully over there in the corner, not bothering anybody.
Minding your own
Yeah, it was
business.
awesome.
and
He's so great.
He slipped one and we caught it.
We caught him.
All right.
So great.
So that works. Before, hey, calm
still-
down,
we're
we're
still
still in the
meeting
meeting,
here.
we have minutes,
Matt.
both of you, either side, ready to
My
bail,
bag-
jeez Louise,
Literal-
I know.
Literal bag is back.
So is hers, that's why she wasn't paying attention.
What are all those dates of minutes we're approving?
Review and approval of executive session meeting minutes, August 26th and September 9th. Have we all reviewed them? And
Yes.
do I hear a motion?
I move that we accept the executive session minutes of August 26, 2025 and September 9th, 2025.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Regular meeting minutes, August 26th, September 5th, September 9th.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Do I hear adjournment?
It's not even that late. I make a
No.
motion to adjourn.
It's only 7:57.
Yeah, you make the motion to adjourn.
You must second it, right?
Yeah, I'll second.
All in favor?
Oh.
All in favor,
All in
kids?
favor.
I said aye.
Got it. There.
All right, we're done. 7:57.